Alright, welcome back everybody to another episode of Roadwarden. I'll get right back into it because I don't think I have much time left. The corridor of pruny trees leads you to a steep ascent. Behind them grows a peaceful meadow, filled with flowers and crickets, and the humming of a waterfall. On the beaten path you spot no footprints or wheel trails, but there's smoke on the horizon. Okay, I hope that's a town. I dismount and lead Sodal on a rope. Oh, looks, there's fields. Oh, okay. Or I guess agriculture fields. The pastures and fields are spread over an unnatural plateau. Humans must have been carving in the hill for generations, covering it with soil, brought here in buckets and wagons. Among the weeds and tall grasses, you spot rotting tools and a tunic. The pasture is overgrowing, and so are the fields. Some of the oats are ready for harvest. Huh, something is wrong. I prepare my axe. The locked gate is taller than a troll, and you can't imagine climbing up the massive wall. For a moment, you follow the path to the edge of the cliff. The roaring ocean is more than 100 feet below you. Hmm, must be somewhere up there, I guess. You spot no one looking at you from the watchtower. No patrols of archers. The wall is occupied by black and blue birds of various types. You return to the gate and focus on the sounds. There are a few screaming ibexes. A young boy is crying. Huh. I knock on the gate with the handle of my weapon. Excuse me. The thudding scares away the birds. They call loudly, starting the cacophony of throats and flapping wings. After maybe a minute, you hear a bronze plate scratching against the wood as someone reveals the peephole. The strict female voice stops you from moving closer. Traveler, old Pegasus is secluding, for it has been smitten by a deadly plague. Be gone before you get sick. I had to go to Old Pegasus, didn't I? Yes, that was part of my quest. Dang it. Huh. Well, I guess they're friendly enough. Do you need any help? I'm the new Roadwarden. No one can save us. You look into the young brown eyes that match the skin of the black-haired owner. While the woman looks like a southerner, she has a strong local accent. She follows you cautiously, but without blinking, like a fighter awaiting a strike. North from here, in the monastery, live masters of spells and potions. Blessed people guided by the right themselves. And even they are powerless. You hear more footsteps gathering near the entrance. May them be blessed, for they look after our ill. A weak voice of an elder chips in. We thank ye, Warden, the woman continues. We can't know how many of us will see the winter. If you really want to help us, warn the other tribes. They wouldn't move a finger for us, but we ought to protect them. There must be something I can do. After she blinks, you catch the sadness in her eyes. I've heard such words more times than I can count. We've done all that we could. What's left is to ask the right to ease our pain and the weight. Okay, can I ask you a few questions while I'm here? Ask, but there's not much we can do for you. We see no one. We travel nowhere. We were born on this hill and will die here. After a few breaths, her eyes get kinder. I'm Tertia. If you bring any news, I'll take them to our council. Huh. Tell me more about this illness. What does it do? She glances at someone, or something that stands to her right. It lasts a long time. Even those who seem to avoid death remain weak for days. There are fevers, headaches, red faces, red eyes, and rash. Those whom we had to burn were sleeping and raving, unable to understand us, and got too weak to move or even drink. She looks down. Children and elderly suffer the most. Now, why don't you harvest your crops? I gotta get the crops. Okay. Why don't you harvest your crops? Even though her cold gaze doesn't break, her voice betrays her pain. Some of our youth refuse to stay behind the walls. They say they need to leave before they fall sick. If we were to let them outside, one of them could refuse to come back. You frown. No, it wasn't pain, what you've heard. It's shame. Huh, I'm looking for Asterion, the previous Roadwarden. You can't tell anything from her eyes. Isn't he dead? Huh, I want to know for sure. If he's not, what else? Souls perish on the roads every day. We don't wait for him anymore. The best you can hope for is that he rode south. What is it that you were waiting for? That's not much of a secret. She looks to her right, then at you again. Head far east, to the crossroads. You'll find a watchtower, an old building made of our stone. You notice the pride in her voice, but hardly used since the war. Your friend wanted to turn it into a shelter. Hire guards, patrol the roads. He took our key and rode away. He was meant to meet with us again, trade for materials and tools. Never happened. They don't seem to hate him, so I'll say, any idea who else could have had such a key? Before it was completed, the builders were spending their rainy days in the coastal village in the far north. Gale Rocks, it's called. Ask there. Huh. Which way would you take if you were to travel to the watchtower? The northern route, most likely. There's more tribes there, but the eastern road is dangerous. No matter from which way you're going to enter it. But if you care about time, she hesitates. You could check on the gate. Though opening it on your own may not be easy. It used to be that our guards were keeping it open for the travelers, but the last one that we sent away, Quintus, is either dead or seeking refuge in another village. Still, behind the gate, you'll find the shortcut. It's a dangerous path, but the palfrey may be just fast enough to get you to the other end. You ask her what can she tell you about this gatekeeper, and she gives you a warm look. He may not be the sharpest wits, but he's loyal to his duty and returns kindness with kindness, like we all should. Hmm. Were you bothered by any bandits in recent seasons? Not in years, Warden. They did attack us on the road once before, but their little pack won't come here. At first her tone is gentle, but after she blinks twice, it turns solemn. Or they would face our anger. Our walls fear only dragons. Our blades are made of steel. Do you have anything for sale? Maybe some food rations. You don't need it, just give it to me. We hardly have enough for ourselves. We used to get supplies for rocks and sculptures, but the monks advised us against it. Our wares may carry the illness. Huh. Hey, don't you want me to ask the other villages for help? There's no love between us and them. We don't share drinks, stories, or dances. If it weren't for marriages, our children would never see each other. And if it wasn't for trade, we could just as well live on a mountain peak. They need our stone. We need fishes and salt from Gale Rocks, game meat from creeks, and grain from Howler's Den. But all of them are harpies, led by greed and lust, the same ills that wounded our grandparents. She hesitates and looks to her left. Still, the wicked souls of White Marshes are even more burrowed in shadows. Sounds like you hold a grudge against them. She takes a deep breath. Yet, I won't spread any rumors. As much as it saddens me, they need us to survive, and we need them. And yet, even stranger to us than they are. Oh, and yet, ye are even stranger to us than they are. Huh. Okay. People from the other tribes are looking for spouses. I guess I'll bring that up. She blinks, as if the question reached her from another realm. We can't be sure of the next spring, even less so that our gates will even open, or ever open. I can't offer you any promises for the tribes. I can't even say there's nothing else I can think of. I could just leave. And there's nothing I can do about nothing I can do about taking their food. Huh. Oh, well, they tell me there's a place to the north. Wait, where am I? I'm over here. There I am. Oh, okay. Yeah, I think last time there was some kind of creature on the road over here. I could only go north. So that's where we're going. You ascend a gentle hill, with green thickets coating the valleys. The path is like an endless bridge built by the ancient three-legged giants, or maybe by the pagan spellcasters. The higher you get, the fewer plants you see. Hit by a cold wind, you adjust your cloak. Huh. I ride slowly, sitting in the center of the saddle. Mountains are harsh for horses. Hey, it's, that hourglass thing. You approach the raised drawbridge and observe the face of the mountain. The hooks holding the hourglass are as large as a person, displaying their devotion to the right proudly. Hmm. Took tremendous wealth and labor? What a waste of steel. Huh. Yeah, I'm gonna say this one. I'm not entirely sure what this matters. I'm thinking somebody's listening in on me. A drawbridge. This is a pretty nice place. A hole in the base of the mountain. The rustling of leaves carries no songs of birds, shouts of apes, or whines of hunted critters. The river attacks its banks with a fierce roar. You get off your palfrey. It's early in the morning. The cave mouths are connected by paths, stairs, and bridges. You don't see any people, but there's smoke coming from one of the entrances, and you hear muffled thuds of a hammer. The gardens are weeded, the buildings are firm. Oh, the building's firm, blah. The green trees on the top of the mountain bear red and brown fruits. Huh. Oh, this is part of their food stock. I need food. I'm gonna die. Okay, two rounded sticks are tied with a rope to a nearby rock. You grab them and take a closer look. They're claves. I don't even know what claves are. I'll be supportive and cordial. I make a few firm hits and shout a greeting at anyone who shows up near the building. The echo of your hits cut through the washing stream. After a few minutes, two hooded figures leave a cave mouth at the top of the mountain and give you a long look from the edge of the cliff, then walk down the path with caution. You smile and wave to them before they disappear behind the buildings, which are made of of bricks, not logs, and are covered with tiles instead of thatch. Little by little, the bridge gets looser. Then it hits the grass gently. The taller figure, now covered with shadows, invites you with a gesture. I lead Sodal inside. Greetings! And greetings to Ye. He hesitates. His voice is hoarse, but sonorous. Salutations to thou, traveler. He puts his bandaged hand on his waist. You're at Wright's Haven. The greeters take off their hoods, blah. They wear brown, dark, simple, worn robes, and ropes instead of belts. Excuse me. There are no jewelry or ornaments, just small bags made of fabric on their shoulders. The larger cell belongs to a strong, barefoot man in his 50s. Despite having no, he did take off his boots. Despite having no weapon, his eyes are audacious, and he could belong to a Oh, his eyes are audacious. His eyes are audacious and could belong to a muscle standing in the door of a harbor tavern. His wrinkles are subtle, but there are only a few tufts of gray hair left on his greasy head. His skin is pale, covered with liver spots, though at a closer look you realize a few of them are just stains left by ink. I look at the second monk. The girl is about 14, with unsightly acne on her forehead, and a robe that brushes the ground whenever she takes a step. Her black hair is tied into a humble ponytail. She observes your horse curiously, cocking her head to the side, but once she catches your look, she meets your eyes boldly, raising her chin as if to challenge you. Thy mount is free to help itself with hay and water. We'll wait outside. Oh, you will wait outside. Yeah, thou canst stay here for now, but leave before the night. The plague is nearby, the struggle ahead. Huh. While they indeed leave the room, their trust only goes so far. They observe you through the open door. The building is a single storeroom, filled with crates and barrels, a stack of firewood and another one of bricks, a pile of straw, a chest, two wheelbarrows, and finally the racks, shelves, tools, clothing, and utensils. The light comes from the open gates, accompanied by the sharp draft. Okay, I tether Subtle near the water trough and join the monks. Blah. The lack of walls makes you feel exposed. A few pairs of eyes observe you from the paths above you, while others either climb to the very top or approach the unremarkable vegetable beds. Most of the dwellers wear hoods, and all of them wear similar worn robes. A chilling wind touches your cheek. I'm not afraid of some wind. That's probably gonna get me sick, isn't it? I put on my hood. They keep their distance. The man greets you by raising his open palm, wrapped with bandages that disappear underneath his sleeve. His lips form something between a sneer and a smile. What brings thee here? Art thou a go-between? The girl keeps an eye on your axe and occasionally glances at your boot, the one that hides a knife. I'm Krim, the new Roadwarden. Good. Well, the roads need their wardens. The folks need their roads. But there are none behind this mountain, and we take care of the one that you've just crossed. Yeah, thou dost not need to bother. Thy services are not required. He gestures for you to wait. But where's the man with the red beard? There isn't enough work here for the two of you. Huh. Asterion, I was hoping you to find him here. I'm sorry to disappoint thee. He rubs a liver spot on his hand. But he hasn't been here in months. We rarely have visitors different than our friends from Old Pagos. We don't invite the outside world, and we don't care much for it. Hast thou checked in Pelt of the North, on the southern road? If he's wounded, it's a safer shelter, I've heard. The girl scratches the ground with her boot, though it remains hidden underneath her robe. The man looks at her with amusement. Looks like Decima here is eager to return to her duties. I'm Ailey, but I'll not shake thy hand. One of us could carry the plague in our flesh. Who can know? Who can tell? What brings thee to our monastery? Huh. Is there nothing you can do about the plague that has beset Old Pagos? Well, his cough doesn't help his hoarse throat. We don't understand what makes it grow. We put to use all the ingredients we found, brewed as many potions and balms as we could, and they worked for one afternoon. Then people once again fell ill. Who can tell where the sickness dwells? A powerful healer could get rid of it once and for all with a single spell, but no follower of the rite in the north carries such talents. Huh. Maybe it's time for someone to enter the village? No, let me think. Maybe I'll go with this one. I'll seek a great healer then. He rubs his hands together, pressing a thumb against his palm and looking at the sky. Such as the druids, the necromancers, the golem maker. Dangerous souls with no reason to help us. Okay, that didn't work. I'm actually running out of time, so I think I'll end it there. So I'll see all of you next time. Bye. I'm gonna die here.